Hey guys, so today is going to finally be the pantry reveal video. Now you may not have known, but we have been waiting to remodel this pantry for an extremely long time. When we first moved in, we really didn't know what to do with this space. So as you can see, it's a very temporary setup, but ended up being something that we needed to use for over 2 years. And as you can see, this space is actually a small little room underneath the staircase. So it has a very slanted wall at the top, and it's just very difficult to work with. So when we spoke to our contractors, who we've been working with for the entire remodel so far and the last remodel on our other house, we wanted to maximize the amount of space that we would have in this tiny little room. So we all decided on shelving units going all the way up the left side of the pantry, and to redo the rest of it as well with some nicer flooring, a new light fixture, and just to overall make it feel like a much more functional space that wouldn't be so chaotic as you can see here. Right when they got started, they decided to immediately take the door off and then start tearing out the flooring since we knew we were going to do new flooring. We actually had a lot of leftover tile from the upstairs bathroom, which you guys will be seeing soon, and we decided to just use the remaining amount of that leftover tile for the pantry. So this tile that you're going to see down here is the 2x8-inch encaustic cement tile. It's just in a black shade. We decided to go with a black grout. We decided to do it in a herringbone pattern. This is actually Zack's choice of flooring a couple of years ago, and I still really love it. This was the end of day one. They were able to do a ton in just one day. So I don't actually have footage of them building the shelves in here, but what I do have is a little bit of footage of them putting up these boards. So we measured out how many shelves we could fit in here and tried to maximize the amount of space that we could. And because we wanted the shelves to be as structurally sound as possible, we decided to go with not floating shelves, but ones that are anchored to the wall and like a full built-in shelving unit. And the shelves themselves are made out of plywood, and then they have an alder wood fascia on the front, so it doesn't just look like plywood fronts. As you can see here, it just skips to those being built because I didn't get any footage of that, but I have them all taped off because I was going to paint these walls. So I decided to go with a limewashed paint. As you can see, the walls are textured. I would say, for myself personally, I probably would not go with a limewashed paint if I was going to do it again, because the walls have this bumpy texture. It almost just looks like I did a crappy job painting. If you don't know what limewash is, it's basically a paint made out of like ground stone, and it's tinted. It's like this really old world feel. It gives us a lot of movement to the walls, a lot of texture. It looks like paintbrush strokes. You'll see it being really popular nowadays. And lime paint is a really, really beautiful texture to it, but in my opinion, after putting it in here, it just almost looks like I'm not very good at painting and like it did a splotchy job, because you're supposed to use a paintbrush and use strokes like in an X-like pattern. It's not supposed to look perfect. It's supposed to look modeled and textured. I digress. The color is called Cobblestone, and this is from Color Atelier, and I do think it looks really pretty in there. After all is said and done, it's like a muted olive color, and I really do like it. It's a very, very, very matte texture because it is stone, so it has like a stone-like texture, and you'll see that when it's all dry. And it ended up looking really pretty, but the reason that we painted the walls after the shelves were in is because the paint didn't arrive in time, and we had to then mask everything off and paint after the shelves were already in. But so you can see that you do like the painterly strokes, and then once it dries, you can actually see those, which seems like it wouldn't be really pretty, but lime wash can look really, really beautiful. And if I were to do it again, I would make sure that the walls were smooth beforehand. I would actually have to like do a skim coat on them, or if you already have smooth drywall, then that would be perfect. So once that was all done, I removed the painter's tape on everything else and then installed a brand new light fixture, which we really love this one. Everything we have is going to be linked in the description of this video. It's a really beautiful brass light fixture. And then it's time to install the door. So as you can see, he created an entirely brand new door. We wanted to go with an arched doorway for this because we have a lot of arches in our house already, and our contractor handmade this door out of alder. It is absolutely stunning. He had never made an arch door like this before. This was his first time, and it is so beautiful. I cannot even describe in words how stunning this door is. So this is before it had finish on it. So we wanted to go with something that was going to just bring out the natural grain of the wood and not be like a stain. So we had them put on Danish oil, and we are obsessed with it. So they actually made the little pocket that the door sits in. They made the door themselves, and the doorknob is actually a doorknob that they got off of a home that they worked in 20 years ago, and the doorknob is a solid brass knob from 1897, and they gave it to us, which is so cool because it has the original skeleton key with it and everything. So as you can see, they are installing the trim around the door, and we have white trim in the rest of the house, so they tried to match it. We're actually going to have them come in and redo the trim around the door to where it's just a thin strip of the same colored alder as the door. And that is the pantry fully remodeled, and now it is time to organize all of our food into it. So our kitchen and pantry were an absolute disaster before this. As you can see, everything is just kind of piled on top of each other. Everything is chaos. Not everything had a place, so it all just kind of ended up seeming like a junk drawer. And I knew that we needed help, so I actually called a company called The Orderly Space. They have business running from Seattle all the way to Bellingham in Washington State. I just was like, I need help. I don't know how to do this myself. So we had a consult on the phone, and we talked about everything, and we decided to hire them to come in and help us with this because it was just too much for me to tackle. I didn't know where to start. I'm not good at organizing, and it just felt like such a big feat for me. So as you can see, everything from before is just kind of all over the place. We have food in drawers, we have pots, pans, too many things kind of all over the place. Nothing really had like a rhyme or a reason. And on our shelves in the kitchen, we just sort of had every spice, every bean and dry good, everything stacked on top of each other, pens, pencils, photos. It just sort of ended up being a catch-all place for all of our stuff. So the team came in, and when I tell you, I do not have words for how much this has changed my life. When they showed up in the house, I literally could not believe how fast they worked, how efficiently they worked, and how well thought out this business is. It has been the absolute most game-changing thing I have ever done for just our lives, for feeling like adults, for our mental health. It has been life-changing. So basically what they did is they came in, we had the consult ahead of time. I told them that I would like to avoid using as much plastic as possible, and that I would like things to be in like baskets and wood and bins and metal and glass. And so they brought in all of their organizing boxes and bins and organizational tools, and a team of 4. There's actually 5 here right now, but one of them was just overseeing the project. They came in and immediately got to work. They started taking things out of drawers, organizing everything into piles, asking me a couple of questions, but they really took the lead. And I just cannot even tell you, in the few hours that they were at the house, the amount of stress this relieved from my life, and watching them be able to take this space that was so disorganized and unorderly and to make it into the most beautiful, well-organized space that I couldn't have even dreamed up if I tried. They are truly incredible. And watching them with all of their organizational bins and just come in and to rearrange my kitchen in a way that made so much sense, and to put my food away in a way that was so thoughtful and has been so user-friendly, it has actually changed our lives. It's been over a week now since we had this done, and everything is perfectly where it was. Everything is perfectly as it should be, and it's so wonderful to be able to bake and have all of my baking supplies in one spot and not be losing my vanilla extract and have no idea where it is and is it in the junk drawer. Now the junk drawer is one of the most organized drawers in our home. Even the cords, they rolled up and stuck together, and the food they went through and saw if there was any bad dates on anything that needed to be thrown out, if it was expired, and they labeled everything so beautifully, and they decanted things into areas that make so much more sense. And I just cannot speak highly enough of this company and what they have done for my life in general. We have been we can't even believe how wonderful it feels to be this organized. And we never have been in our lives. It's just not our strong suit. We're kind of chaotic people. And the orderly space made our lives feel much less chaotic. And I cannot even begin to describe how thankful I am for that. And as you can see, they just got to work. They made everything so perfect, and they were there for maybe about 6 hours, and in that amount of time, the entire kitchen and the entire pantry had a complete before and after, a complete facelift. And so as you can see, everything has a place. They were all so kind and honestly needed very little from me. I was very surprised at how they just sort of took charge, but did everything the way that I could only have dreamed it would be. It's not like I've been walking around like, where did they put that? I know where everything is because it makes sense. It's labeled, it's clean, it's precise, it's organized, and it's beautiful. And it has been everything that I could ever suggest. Like, if there is a way that you can do this, highly suggest that you do. I'm going to show you what they ran through with me and showed me where everything is at the end.
You've got a beautiful tea drawer for your tea. The loose leaf is down here with your kettle, and then just some other small tea accessories. And then this is your coffee drawer.
Beautiful.
Pods, and then your coffee accessories. We just added some bins with some labels. So you should be able to find what you're looking for under there. Stayed with your silverware, and then all of your other baking and kitchen gadgets are in here.
Wow, okay.
Then this became your food storage. Then over here is your Tupperware, and then all the extra lids for your jars.
Oh my God.
Your big
okay.
pot, and that stuff is in this drawer now, and then this is like your pretty bakeware. And then your accessories for your KitchenAid.
Oh, wonderful.
And these became your 2 utility drawers.
Okay.
So you've got like your pens and pencils and tape and that type of stuff. And then this is like electronics and your stuff.
Oh my God, what a difference.
Spices are in here. We just swapped out the labels and added a few of our own for things that you had and didn't have in jars already.
Okay.
Then we put your cooking utensils that were out in here because you had this drawer. So that way you don't have to have it out on the counter there.
Much nicer.
Drawer.
Oh my gosh,
so
wonderful.
There's space to grow, some more water bottles or whatever.
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
So we'll start from top. So we got your alcohol up there.
Okay.
Got your sweets. Your spreads overstock, so that's your extra syrups, peanut butter, honey. You had all that, which this is already like opened.
Okay.
And so that's just your extra because you had so much.
So those are all unopened.
Yes, those are unopened.
Okay.
And so these are all your open ones. This is also your breakfast cereal, pancake mix, granola. We've got your dinner grains, so just like beans, lentils, potato, like I think it was like scalloped potatoes and things. Dinner mixes. All your pasta.
Okay.
So all different pastas there. And then this is all your produce. So you can see everything that's in there. You have different breads and tortillas, and then your chip bags here.
Okay.
We have oils and vinegars. Little turntable there, and your bigger oils right here.
Okay.
All the canned goods. We decanted a couple of just pastas for you there.
Thank you.
Your dinner sauces. You got your salsas and pizza sauces, and then these are all your like your condiments and your pickled goodies.
Okay.
Sorry, baking's over here. So we did decant your baking powder, the soda, and the cornstarch.
Perfect.
We got nuts and snacks, your dried fruit, so it's like the raisins and the little fruit bars.
Okay.
Other baking ingredients, just the smaller ones. You have the bigger ones here, like brown sugar and your brownie mix. And then you have all the baking overstock. So your bags of sugar and flours and baking soda.
Okay.
And then you got your dried vegetables here. And so now you have a spot for everything. And
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What a difference.
yeah,
Holy moly.
So thank you again so much to the Orderly Space for coming out and for doing such an incredible job organizing our kitchen and our pantry. It is unreal how much this has improved already our eating as well, because we can see what we have. We don't have to wonder, do we have pasta sauce? It's right there. Do we have 47 cans of garbanzo beans? Apparently. And so now it's nice because we can see everything. We know what we have. All of our baking is in one spot. I've baked multiple times already because it doesn't feel overwhelming to me anymore to think about going into my drawers. It just feels like a breath of fresh air. So thank you again so much to the Orderly Space for coming out and for doing this for us. It has been life-changing. Thank you again so much to our contractors for making this beautiful pantry. And thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it was somewhat satisfying to watch the entire transformation of this space. It has felt amazing for us. If you guys would like a full kitchen tour after the remodel, I don't know if you guys have been here for the whole thing, but we've shown the entire kitchen from start to finish. So if you want to see how it became this from this, then subscribe, because that is going to be coming soon. We're going to do an entire kitchen before and after, talk to you guys about the finishes we chose, as you can see in this video, and why we chose them and what we did to go about everything, because this whole space looks 110% different than it did a couple of years ago. So I thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will see you at our next video.